bold prediction season rolls on, what are some of the things you believe? In fact, Zach hit us up. He's a good example of something that's very, very bold. We're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 here. Zach from Locust Grove, Georgia said, Georgia makes a lot of people look foolish for forgetting about them. Sidebar, no one's forgotten about Georgia. Not a single soul has forgotten about Georgia. No one's predicting them to go 7-5. No one's disrespecting them. No one's discounting them. So save all that. Let's get to the prediction. Zach said Georgia is going to beat Texas, Ole Miss, and Alabama, each by double digits. They get all three of them at home. We already got numbers on the game from FanDuel, so they're favored by 4.5 against Bama. They're favored by 10.5 against Ole Miss. They're favored by 2.5 against Texas. You played two of them last year, and they beat you on the road. You beat Texas twice. You're beating all three of these teams by 10+ this year. I'm not sure I buy that. And you may go 3-0 against them, but I don't think you're beating all of them by 10+. Those are really good teams. So I'm going to put a 9.25 on that one. The other thing I think about is I think about Georgia, I think about Kirby, I think about how much he's talked about his two deep being filled with first or second year players, a lot of second year players on his two deep. And I think about defensively, how that could bite you. Not being able to get to the quarterback enough could bite you when you play coaches like Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, and Kalen DeBoer, because those are the three you just listed. I just don't think you're running away from all three of them. You may beat all three of them, but running away from all three of them by 10+, I'm going to put that at a 9.25. Next up, we got to do some math here. Edwin from Memphis, Tennessee, he said Ole Miss, Nebraska, and Virginia Tech combined for 25 or more wins. This is a 9 for me. Okay, so let's do some math here. So the over-under win totals for these teams. Ole Miss is 8.5, Nebraska 7.5, Vatech is 6.5. They don't like Vatech. Virginia Tech is 6.5. Well, we added it all up. Stats and Info reliably tells me that adds up to 22.5 wins. So we need to find some extra oomph somewhere. I just mapped out the season on the bottom of my piece of paper here. If I can get Ole Miss to go 10-2, and I can get Nebraska to go 9-3, Virginia Tech can go 6-6, and this adds up to 25. It's still, it's hefty immunity. It's a lot to lean on. I'm going to put a 9 on this. It's not so bold that I call it crazy, but I'm going to put a 9 on that. Two of them's got to come through for you, and one of them cannot crash and burn. Next up, hey, really quick timeout. We'll get right back to the video. Do me one favor. Make sure you're subscribed. It helps us keep the show free. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us keep doing college football year-round, and we appreciate it. All right, back to the video. This is not bold at all. Our good friend Barrett Salih, who is single-handedly responsible for the Atlanta Braves falling off a cliff and into the abyss this year, he said Georgia Tech will make the playoff. They may. They may. I don't want to put rat poison in the well here, but this is like a 7 for me. This is not bold, Barrett. Try again, my friend. The actual odds, if you're interested, are plus 730 for them to make the college football playoff. I just think there's a 10-2 in the cards here, and that gets them in the postseason, possibly. And maybe it gets them to Charlotte with a chance to play their way in. I just hope that the committee does not hold SMU last year against Georgia Tech this year, because I could see that happening. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Lastly, Brandon Marcello, another friend of the program, with a spiffy new coat I saw he got in the mail the other day. Utah wins the Big 12. Now, the rule on this show is there is no stupid Big 12 prediction. However, any prediction is bold in the Big 12 because no one has the slightest clue what's happening out there. So we're going to put an 8.5 on this, even though Utah's got about as they're in a 4-way tie to win the conference right now. That's how insane the Big 12 figures to be. So really, you're predicting the favorite is going to win the conference. And I still call that an 8.5 because no one knows anything. This is FanDuel basically saying, yeah, have at it. If you think you know more than we do, have at it. 4-way tie for the best odds in the conference. Utah's going to have a big turnaround this year. Devon Dampier is a quarterback that Utah fans know, the Big 12 folks know. He transferred from New Mexico. He's reunited with Tim Beck, his old offensive coordinator there. And he's probably going to contend for like breakout player of the year in the Big 12. good athlete. Kyle Whittingham, up until last year, was averaging like 9.5 or 10 wins a year. So they're going to bounce back. Like, I got very little doubt about that. Are they going to win the league? I don't know. Marcelo, I don't think knows either. Does Kyle Whittingham know? I don't know.